All right. Thank you for joining us here on this Hispanic Heritage Month with United Soccer Coaches and the Latino Coaches Advocacy Group. And today on the call, we have the new chairperson for the Latino Coaches Advocacy Group, Mauricio Lozada. Mauricio, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and what you're up to.
My name is Mauricio Lozada. I'm very honored to be the chairperson for the Latino Advocacy Group. I'm in Minnesota. I'm coaching at Tonka United. I'm also the boys age group director, 11 to 14s, for the club. I'm also an assistant coach at Bethany Lutheran men's soccer. So yeah, this fall has been busy with soccer on and off the field, but I can't have it any other way. So I'm very fortunate to be this busy and just enjoying every minute of it.
So let me ask you this. What does being the chairperson for the Latino Coaches Advocacy Group mean to you? Um, what does advocacy mean to you? Explain us in your words, like what it is to be able to do that and to contribute to United Soccer Coaches.
Absolutely. For me, it's just an honor to provide a voice to our group. We have um, very specific needs from the association, and I just want to make sure that those needs are communicated to United Soccer Coaches on behalf of all the Latino coaches in our group. And even if they're not in our group, a lot of us that are in it have our networks, and we know what's going on and off the field. Um, Advocacy is just that, making sure that um, our voices are being heard, making sure that we create content that's relevant to our coaches, making sure that um, you know if they become members of the association, become members of our group, um, they have a space to be themselves, to um, you know bring their own experiences, and if they're willing to give back, give them those opportunities to grow and learn and become leaders. So that's my ultimate goal from this chair, to provide that to every single one of our members.
Now, how did you initially get involved with United Soccer Coaches? How did you hear about United Soccer Coaches? And then how did you become a registered member? Why did you become a registered member? So how did that whole process with United Soccer Coaches began for you?
Well, it actually started with a club that I was at the time. They just got us the introduction memberships just to kind of get some ideas and coaching and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I first started to kind of know what United Soccer Coaches was about. Then my first convention was in Chicago, and since it's very close to the Twin Cities, I really wanted to go because I just wanted I kept hearing of all these things, and I just wanted to see it for myself. Um, and in that first convention, I was just exhausted of going to every single class, every single thing. I just wanted to take it all in, and since then, I haven't looked back. I've been pretty, it's been pretty funny how I just reached out to the group, and I said, hey, if you guys need help, if you need me to do anything, how can I help? And they're they started giving me opportunities to just be a leader and give back. And since then, I've done a little bit of everything with the association. 30 under 30 member. I've helped in a committee to establish the diversity committee with the association. Gotten a couple calls to speak to leadership, and did the recognition committee for the Latino advocacy group, and now I am the chair of the group. So this past 2 years have been wonderful because I got to meet so many great coaches across the association, I'm just very thankful that that network is amazing, and it's willing to share their experience, their ideas, and they also take the time to listen. So I can't uh, can't put into words how amazing my experience has been.
No, and I one of the things that I would say is that from my perspective, education is very big, right? And it's very important when it comes to obviously United Soccer coaches. So I'm wondering, when did you start taking your education a little bit more seriously, and how did you start to identify some of the courses that maybe you needed to start taking with United Soccer coaches, U.S. Soccer, whoever you've been taking it to? But what did that education piece um, become important to you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I when I started coaching, I did my E, my D, and that was just kind of enough to get going and to just kind of understand the game a little bit. I would say the last 2 years, 2.5 years, I really took it seriously because I've been coaching for quite some time, um, and I'm ready for the next those next opportunities. I figured that to you know stay up to date with what the methodology is, what how we want to be coaching, and the type of coach that we want to see both on and off the field. I figured that it was important for me to go get my C, you know, do some of some of the courses with United Soccer coaches, both at convention but also just online. Actually, this weekend I'm going to be going to do the director of coaching in Kansas City. So it is very important because uh, I didn't play at a high level. I know I played since I can remember, but just because how good or how bad of a player you were doesn't translate to coaching. There's more nuance to it. I really uh, feel like it's important to just and it doesn't have to just be formal. It can be also informal. That's what we try to do with Latino Advocacy Group from time to time. Just create content that speaks to just the different things that our coaches need, um, and that's also coaching education, and that's also things that they should just keep in mind to make sure that they continue to grow and learn and seek those opportunities for learn and growth.
So let me ask you this. So then, like, what is something that the group, right, the Latino Coaches Advocacy Group, has maybe as a goal for the next year or two? What are we trying to improve? How are we trying to contribute to the association? Can you talk to us a little bit about that part as well?
Absolutely. So, obviously, right now we're in Heritage Month. We want to make sure that we highlight the importance of that to our members, the importance of, you know, Latino coaches have made great contributions to the game here in the United States, and we don't want that to be overlooked. So we have a couple things going this month that hopefully will do that. Then we're gonna do some coaching education in the next two months, uh, where we'll have some of our leaders in the group, uh, just speak to to things that our coaches should be aware of, and I think they'll answer some questions that our coaches might have, and all of that. We just want to get our attention into convention. We want to get reunited. We want to hopefully get as many of us to reconnect and have a good time in Kansas City. And for me, the biggest thing would be just to listen to what coaches want to see the rest of 2022 to look like. Um, the last year, we done podcasts on how to get hired, 30 under 30 program, because we really want to get as many Latino coaches, especially young Latino coaches, into that group. And we are going to continue that, but we also want to just have a pulse on what is needed. So hopefully a convention will, as we're you know during our social and during our advocacy hour, we're gonna ask those questions of, hey, what do you guys need from us to make sure that we're not just putting content out there, but it is content that's relevant, that our coaches want, need, and we'll do right by them. So that's the next couple months. That's I don't want to speak to more than that, because I think that a convention will really shape the rest of 2022 for us. But I'm excited. I'm excited to just see all of us out there, and hopefully ready for what's to come.
And I think from my perspective, like you said, right, half of the battle is showing up, right? So when you show up to the convention, um, and then the Latino coaches advocacy hour as well, right? But as you start showing up for stuff, and now you're networking and kind of building your environment, things start to happen. Things start to translate into, okay, well, maybe I can help here. Maybe I do know this, and I have that background in this. And now it becomes a community where we're all helping each other because everybody has different gifts. So ultimately, that's what we want to do, to be able to share those gifts with, not only each other, but even the other advocacy groups as well, right? To figure out how can we best serve the association and ultimately the coaches and the players. So let me ask you about, why should people get involved, right? Why does it matter for people to get involved? And talk to about the importance of people showing up and showing up with an open mind, because I think a lot of times as well, like we show up and it's kind of like we already have preconceived ideas of what's going to be said, or oh yeah, so this person's going to talk about this, or yeah, well, I already heard this, I already heard that, been there, done that. Talk to us about the how to show up with an open mind, and how to be there in order to help the group grow.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think um, right now, like, at least I can speak to my experience the last 18 months, 2 years. I learned and grown so much just from getting my hands dirty, making sure that I met my deadlines on some of the projects that I said I was going to help with. Um, Listen to coaches that have been there, done that, that have been members of the association for years, and if I look back to the coach I was 2 years ago, I would be like, yeah, there's a massive difference. So I think that's one of those win-win situations of, um, yes, you can put your stamp on it and be proud of what you have accomplished, but at the same time, you're gonna learn, even when you're not intentionally seeking to learn, um, just by listening to these great coaches that are doing great things. And for me, I don't like to reinvent the wheel. If there's a coach in Florida doing something amazing that I need to just tweak to make it work for the group that I'm working with, awesome, let's do it. Let's share those ideas. Let's share that, also the feedback of, hey, this worked, but that didn't. And I think that's where that collaboration, that community, it's it's something that you just cannot put a value to. Um, if you think that you've done it, and you're not going to learn anything from this, then awesome, be a mentor. Be a mentor. Grow the rest of us. um, you know some of us have had good opportunities, and that's great, awesome. Share how, what do we need to do to learn, grow, to for when those opportunities come. And the more of us that can, can help the game grow, the better. So I think that's the ultimate goal of this group, and that's the I think the goal of every advocacy group, to help shape the coaches that are members into better coaches, but also better people, and just share ideas, share experiences, give back, and make every single one of us better, and make sure that the United Soccer Coaches is it's around for the next 80 years, right? I'm pretty sure that those coaches that have been there for a long time can attest to just the difference years have made, but also how coaches, even the ones that are, just pay their membership and don't do anything, help shape really where the association is now, and where it's going to go in the next 80 years.
Now, considering how different the coaching world is, right? So the coaching world is a little is different in the sense that you're competing with your colleagues, right? So when you're competing with your colleagues, there is a lot of hesitancy to share, and there's a lot of hesitancy to be open about what you're doing. Like, for example, right? Like I'm in a league right now. I'm in a very competitive league. If somebody that I'm gonna see down the line comes to me and says, "Hey, listen, I want to come to your session. I want to let's bounce ideas of each other." My personality, me, the way that I am, I would probably be open to that because it's not about me; it's about the players, right? So if I can if by me doing that, even if I take an L on the weekend, but by me doing that, I'm going to help my players long term. That 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 to me is the way that for me to look at the game, right? So I look at other coaches as colleagues and competitors, but outside of the field, we can collaborate, we can share ideas. Show me what you did, I'll show you what I did, stuff like that. How do we increase that? How do we help each other grow that in that way? And that's not to say there's no collaboration in between coaches, because there's a lot of collaboration in between coaches, clubs, coaching association, like even between state associations, right? There's a lot of collaboration, but how do we increase that in order to be able to, like you said, help some of the younger coaches, especially Latinas, right? Um, enhance their careers, move forward with their careers, so that ultimately, like you said, they can become head coaches, they can have more opportunities, and they can become leaders. How do you think we can help increase that level of collaboration?
Well, I think it comes down to communication. It comes down to showing the proof, right? That this has worked. This has made a difference. This has made the game grow. At the end of the day, um, you know, the associate like for example, the association has been around for 80 years. We're hoping that it will be around for the next 80. That means that some of us just won't be able to see that 80. But I think collaboration, sharing ideas, will will make sure that this association is there in those 80 years. And there's that value of, hey, you made that happen. You left your mark. Your willingness to just collaborate with other coaches made sure that the game became, one of the top three, top four in this country. That to me, there's more value to that than losing or winning on the weekend, 1-0 or 2-0 or whatever, right? The kids, let's face it, depending on the age group of the kids, like they might not remember that. But what they will remember is that the coach that took the time to go get that coaching education, think outside the box and collaborating with other coaches, and provided a positive environment for the players to try and fail and learn. um, that's what the players are gonna remember. That's what makes a difference. But I think I'm only going to speak for myself, but I've been very fortunate to have that network of those coaches that are willing to get on a call and just figure it out and challenge each other really to learn and grow and get out of the old ways, quote unquote, that these are my kids and this is my program. No, it's you know at the end of the day, we the ultimate goal is to make the game better, players better, and not just players, grow people, make a difference, and hopefully, I, I, I I think that's a strong value of the association. So the more we provide these opportunities for that collaboration, I think the more you'll see it, and the more that it just will become the norm. That if you want to be a better coach, this is a path to do it, and I think it's happening.
How does the association, how do we reach those communities that maybe don't even know United Soccer Coaches exist? Because I think at least for me, I'm very fortunate to be in a situation. Even when I started, 15 years ago, it wasn't like I didn't happen to just learn about United Soccer Coaches. Like I had to go out and look for it, research it, and then obviously through coaching courses, networking, and stuff like that. That's how I came across it, and then I've been a member ever since. So I'm wondering, how do we reach those communities that maybe don't have an opportunity to even um, realize or see the benefit of United Soccer Coaches?
I think it starts with getting our memberships excited about the association and excited about what we have to offer, and giving them a good experience. I think, especially here in the advocacy groups, like giving our members opportunities for them to be leaders, sharpen up those skills, and I think yes, it's a word of mouth and it's old school, but that makes a difference. I have found that our coaching world is actually pretty small. I know somebody that knows somebody that doesn't know me, somewhere else, right? So I think that that's one way to do it, to make sure that it's provide a good experience. They wanna make sure that coaches they know also get that experience. The second is the beauty of social media. Just you know put that content out there, make it something that is usable, tangible, quick, get to the point, um, and it's a little teaser of what can happen if you become member of the association, member of the Latino Advocacy Group. Um, so I think if those two things just work hand in hand, like we can make it happen. We can get these things out, and get and it's not just to grow more members, but also make an impact at the end of the day. So hopefully, this right now going into convention, we all get excited, and we are all looking forward to it. But also think about of how do we take this back to our communities, share with those coaches that might not be connected, and just tell them, hey, 2023. I know it's so far away, but at the same time, we know that the time goes really quick. So I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my experience, a lot of times when I go to the field and then I start talking to talking to some coaches. I don't talk to all of them, but I talk to some coaches. They say hi, we share stories, whatever. I think one of the things that I started doing, especially lately, was kind of just mentioning and talking about United Soccer Coaches, because at the end of the day, I think it does help our network. It does help grow the community, and it gives us an opportunity to elevate our voices. right? So if we can help each other out in that sense, right? And maybe the coach that I'm playing this weekend doesn't know about United Soccer Coaches. Maybe they do, but maybe they don't, right? So if we can just continue to spread, like you said, just spread the voice, spread the message, and say, hey, listen, here's something legitimate that can like help you and your team, right, and your community. So and there's so many different grants, courses, scholarships that go unused, free money that goes unused because people don't know, right? People don't know to use them. But again, nobody's gonna come knock on your door. You have to go and reach out. But again, let's get that information out there. So if you're one of the coaches that is listening to this and does know about United Soccer Coaches, is aware of those scholarships, of those grants, of those opportunities, spread the word, let everybody know, and again, don't be shy about sharing this information because you may be ultimately helping somebody out in your community. Um, so Mauricio, as we start to wrap this up, um, how do we get involved? Who do I reach out to? How do I find out more information about United Soccer Coaches and the Latino Coaches Advocacy Group?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, go to our website, United Soccer Coaches. There's the advocacy tab. You can it's not just ours. You can see all the different groups that we have. Contact information for each one of them. Reach out. We at the end of the day, we really follow through with everything. It might not be instant, but we really want to make sure that we get back to you and get you connected and get you as involved as you want to be. Um, get your toes wet, and not everybody just wants to jump in there, right? That's okay. We understand that, but to Art's point, you have to take that first step. After that, trust me, we'll take over. We'll make sure that you are connected, feel welcome, and get as involved as you want to be. We will get you to work. There's no question about that. Um, I, I, I cannot speak to this, but I really do want to get more Latina women coaches, not just in our group, but also the women's coaches advocacy group. We need your voice. We need your leadership. We need to listen to what you need from this group, but also United Soccer Coaches. So please, please, please reach out. We want to make sure that this group is it's about just making every single one of us a little bit better one day at a time. But that is one area that we're not doing so well on, and I think that getting a couple more voices in there, we'll make sure that we just do better. Um, Lastly, I'm excited for a convention. I'm excited to see as many of you as possible. In the meantime, reach out. We're here to help you navigate not just our group, but also United Soccer Coaches. Um, you know, we are very fortunate to be connected with the association well enough that we will get your questions answered, and at the same time give you opportunities for that learning, for that growth, for that informal coaching education that's just as important as all the courses, which obviously we need you to do, but we're also will provide you with ways to think outside the box, to become a better coach and make a bigger difference in the players that you're working with.
Yeah. So the two things that I would just add to that is just, with regards to Latina coaches, Latina players, right? Um, us as coaches, especially male coaches, it's our job and responsibility to build them up, right? So one of the things that I started doing is when players help me, when they're refereeing games, I don't refer to them as their with their name anymore. I start referring them as coach, and I start referencing them as refs, right? Because that builds them up and that helps them see themselves in a role that they probably didn't see themselves in. So I think little things like that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's a lot of us doing it, but we need even more people doing it, more men doing it, more women doing it, to elevate Latinas, to continue playing and to continue to stay in the game. They don't all have to play, right? But we need refs, we need coaches, because ultimately that's the reference point that players are going to have. So if we as coaches, especially male coaches, can continue to be conscious about pushing them forward, elevating them, and creating those opportunities for them to lead, I think it's our job to do that. And so I appreciate you bringing up that point. And then the second thing with that is I don't think enough can be said about that. Like I think we have to continue to talk about that, to continue to create opportunities, and United Soccer Coaches does that as well, right? With the women's advocacy group. So there's a place for everyone, right? And I think that's the message, and that's the point. That if you are connected to the game, if you love the game, you have a place here, and that's the path going forward. So Mauricio, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on. Can you please, share with us? Share with us. Let me ask you this one last thing. Let's go with this. Let's go with um, talk to us about how has this made an impact on you personally joining the group, and then how has that helped you in your career as well? So talk about those two things. How has it personally helped you grow, and how has it influenced your career?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the last years I've just putting myself out there, getting to know coaches from just not just in Latino advocacy group, but just across the board with United Soccer Coaches. Um, I've started to just you know wanted more, wanted more of just not that being a coach is not enough, but I wanted to have more leadership opportunities in my own professional life. And that's, to be honest, that's how I think I got the role that I have now. I put myself out there and had those conversations. Um, it really it has shaped me to the to the coach that I am now, to the leader that I am now, to the professional that I am now. So um, that's what I want to make sure that I do for every other coach that's part of our group, because it works. I'm sorry that I cannot that I'm a little blunt on that one, but it works. It works if you reach out, seek mentorship opportunities, seek opportunities to give back. Even the coaches that have done it forever and ever. Hey, be part of our group, make a difference. We really need to continue to grow each other so that we make an impact to our players. I think one thing that we forget a lot is that if you see it, you can be it, right? I was very fortunate that my high school coach looked like me, sounded like me, spoke Spanish from time to time, and let me have it, right? And that's what we just need to do for the generations to come. So I'm very fortunate to lead this group. I really want to make this a group that just allows people to be themselves, provide opportunities for growth, to be a leader, to give back, and at the end of the day, just continue to open the door for the generations to come. So if we do that, I can honestly say that we might not see it, we might not see the return right away, but if I'm around in the game 40 years from now, I really want to make sure that I can honestly say that this advocacy group, you know, left their mark on those coaches, and that is just a win-win situation for me. I take, you know, I learn, but then I can put my what I'm learning to action, in my experience to action, and that's just fantastic.
Thank you, Mauricio. I appreciate your time. I know the association appreciates your time. And always a pleasure to get on, hop on, have these conversations. Super important to get this message out. So I appreciate it. And hopefully, we will have a really, really great rest of 2021. We'll kick off 2022 with the convention. I'll be there as well, so it'll be fun. And yeah, hopefully again, right, the needle has to move in the right direction, right? We all know what I'm talking about. But if it does, and hopefully it will continue to do that. We'll all be there, and hopefully you can join us. So, from the Latino Coaches Advocacy Group, thank you very much, and we will see you.